So just while we're waiting, I've got a meeting coming up in London in Pax Lodge, um, and so there's some places still if people want to join. It's going to be the weekend of the 27th to the 29th. So you can choose whatever day you want to come, if you whatever, and or you can come to all of them, or it's online as well. So if you want online for that, and also June 5th to 7th, I'm going to be in Amsterdam. So that is also happening and will also be online. So if anybody wants to come, you're more than welcome. I think that's probably it, and let's just start. And if people want to come, they can come, so it's fine. So I'll just say a few words again as usual, and then we can just it's open conversations, so if there's something you want to say, please do. But really and truly, this is really all there is. Just what is. This is a very, very simple expression. It's very simple. It's so simple that it can't be understood and can't be expressed. It can't really be expressed at all, because it's just this. That's as good as you get. That's as good as you get. And that's not enough. That's not enough for me. Me wants to understand something, wants to get clarity about something. And of course, there's no possibility of clarity because there's just what is. That's incredible that there's just what is. That there wasn't anything to look for. That all of that longing and trying to find and trying to get is all just a superfluous process. It's just all that can be expressed is simply what is. It's just this. That's all people are running after all over the world, trying to find something. And all that is longed for is already this. It's already what is. This is unconditionalness. This is nothing apparently happening. This is just what seems to be going on. There's nothing really going on. There's nothing happening. This is nothing happening. There's no time. There's no space. There's nothing to hold on to, and there's no need to hold on to anything. There's no one to hold on. There's no one here expressing anything important. This isn't an important message for you to get. There's nothing here, and there's also nothing there. So it's absolutely impossible to get your head around this. You can't get your head around this. You can go round and round in circles trying to understand, but it's never possible to understand this. This is impossible to understand. This is never graspable. And there's absolutely no requirement to, and there never was. There never was any requirement. This is just a complete dissolving into what is appearing. This is a complete falling away into what is. This is dissolution. So we can talk around that. We can talk about different things that come up, because there is an apparent kind of contraction which is completely natural and also completely automatic, which we might call me. And me seems to come up. It's just a state of energy, an apparent state of energy. It just seems to come up, and it seems to try to want to understand, to want to grasp onto what is, to want to claim it and say, this is mine. And it is totally blameless. It is totally automatic. Me is just natural. Me is just what is. Me is just apparently happening. It's just an automatic function. And no me is also automatic and without anybody without inner body in it. So there's no difference at all. There's just what is. There's just this. Anyway, open bar. Whatever you like, we can talk about it. This is a free space. So yeah. I am recording it. Yeah, it's. I'm just. Casey's just asked me a question. Yeah, I'm recording it. I'm just recording it to my computer, so it won't come up as me recording it there. But thank you. Yeah.
Hi, David. Can you hear me okay?
Hi, Katie. Hi. Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah, I
hey.
can. Yeah, I can hear you. How you doing?
I'm doing good. I wanted to talk about something. So I was away this past weekend and just hiking and things like that. And I hadn't taken psilocybin in a really long time, few years. And I took a little bit with me and just did like a micro dose. And it seemed like with that, um, there was a lot more relaxation, like sort of around the trip. There had been like all this tension of like getting ready and making sure I had the right gear and all of this stuff, and with coordinating with my partner. And um yeah, just like I'm thinking after that, like it's hard not to think that that relaxes that sense of self, because that's what it seemed like,
Oh
that
yeah.
this. Yeah.
Yeah, no, but there's lots of there are I mean, when there is seeking, there is a natural draw towards lots of different things which are about relaxing that contraction around that me quality. I mean, that goes on all the time. There's lots of things that apparently are drawn to. The body naturally goes towards that. Just there's too much tension, so it goes towards alcohol, or it goes towards something which is gonna, it can be anything. It doesn't have to be, psychedelics, but psychedelics are something, are another expression of that, and in a way, a less traumatic for the body kind of expression of that. But it's just simply what goes on. The body naturally goes towards those things when there is an apparent seeking. When there isn't any seeking, of course, there isn't really an interest in that so much.
Yeah.
That isn't it. What I'm trying to say is that there isn't any kind of solution in the a temporary sort of uh, in sort of the temporary kind of in a substance or something which disrupts me for a bit. You know,
Mhm.
lots of different states do that. You know, you can do that with breath. You can do that with meditation. Lots of different things are gone towards, but of course they have to be maintained. You have to keep on taking them, or they have to be apparently maintained. The point about what is that there isn't anything that needs to be done. This is already this. It's already this. Nothing needs to be taken or done. It's already what is. There isn't anything that needs to be done.
Hmm.
But there's
Yeah, it's
nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with it at all. And there's also nothing right with it.
yeah. Yeah, it's so interesting that like experience of it's when it's so clear what you're saying and it just lands, and then other times where that energy is just going, 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 and
Yeah,
it can't hear it.
sure.
Yeah,
Yeah,
or it
sure.
doesn't want to, maybe.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. There, it ha, what is all of what is just uncontrollable. Me is not controllable. There's no one in control of me. There isn't anyone inside there. There's no ghost in the machine, right?
Yeah. uh, okay. Thank you.
Thank you, thank you.
Yeah, I guess I do want to say more if
Sure,
no one else.
please. Yeah, please.
So, say like breath work or meditation, like it seems, yeah, those can be relaxing, and you can have like an experience with that of like this is obvious that there's no me, or it seems more obvious. Can what we're talking about. Um, so it almost seems like they're trying to show like with those practices, see there is no one, but it's showing it to someone.
Exactly. Yeah. There's always the one that's trying to do it. So there's always the one that's, that is aiming for something, you know, that's trying to get somewhere, that's trying to see no one. It's me. It's doing not doing. You know, it's trying. It's all about trying. There's an effort involved in all of this. This doesn't require anything. This doesn't require any kind of maintenance or attempt to do anything, because it's, of course it doesn't, because it's all that's being expressed is that it's already this, just this, what is that just that's enough. This is enoughness.
Yeah, it's kind of unbelievable that that effort, I don't know, there's something, yeah, unbelievable that that effort doesn't need to be there.
Yes. Well, for me, that's what's unbelievable, because me doesn't understand anything that doesn't require effort, because it doesn't require me. Me, what's being expressed here is sort of devastating for me, because it's pointing out that there's no requirement for anybody pulling the strings.
And things like meditation, for example, it could go on if it's like, oh, this feels good. Um,
Yeah, it can. Yeah, yeah. If there's some, if that body likes meditation, then it will just go towards it. It's no problem. There's nothing right or wrong. This is not a saying that there's anything wrong with meditation or with any of these things. It's just pointing out that the drive to get somewhere is totally futile.
okay, thank you.
Pleasure. Thank you. I've got somebody here that says something. Um, is it because there's no time that there is no yes, is then that there is no solution? I mean, there hasn't been going a millisecond between the first dinosaur on this apparent world and this apparent question. Is it all just nothing apparently happening, meaning not real or solid? Well, there is no time. I mean, simply, there's no time, and so there is just what is. So everything else really is a story. So there's nothing happening. Um, there's nothing real or unreal. There's nothing that is solid or not solid. And there's essentially all attempts to try to understand, is this solid or is this not solid, is this real or is this not real, all of that is the questioning of what is. It's all just trying to understand. Oh, it's real, oh, it's not real. Is it real or is it not real? Is it empty or is it full? That's all just an equation. It's all trying to understand something. This can't be understood. There's just what is. This is the end of seeking. This is the end of seeking. That's it. Hi, Johan.
Hi, David.
Hi.
Hi. So, in a way, the end of seeking also is the end of hiding, right?
Well, yeah, in a way, yeah. I mean, me can be can hide, can try to hide. Yeah, it can do that. Yeah.
Well, in the sense that you earlier said you can't creep up on consciousness.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't say
I,
consciousness. You can't creep up on everything or
all right.
nothing. Yeah.
Well, neither could you hide from it, of course.
Well, no, no, true. Yes, that's there's nothing that it could, yeah, that cannot be, it's impossible to hide from what is. Yes. And me does try to avoid what is, amazingly. I mean, it's already everything, but it will still try to, avoid it and, distract, try to go somewhere else. Where else you can
Like the
go,
road trip,
I've
right?
got no idea, but
I'm not here, right? Yeah.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's like that. Yeah. Yeah.
But so then there's and that's a big thing, I guess. There's no inner world. There's no inner life
No,
when you put it
no,
that way.
no.
Yeah.
There's no inside, there's no outside.
Love is all there is, I would say.
Yes, you can say, of course. Yeah. Hmm. Or the unconditional is all there is.
No.
This is unconditionalness. It's my new word.
No hiding. Thank you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sure.
Thanks.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. We've got Nanda. Hi.
Hi, David.
Hi, Nanda.
Hello.
Hi.
I'm gonna drop my hand. So you often say this is the end of seeking,
Mm.
and by that you mean because there's nobody there who can seek.
I mean, yes, and thisness, what is the end of seeking.
Thisness.
This is the end of seeking. This is the end of what is of the seeker.
Yeah, this what is.
What is, yeah. What is, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But you also mean that because there's no seeker.
There isn't anyone, yes, absolutely. There isn't anyone.
Yeah, but when you say this is the end of seeking, you mean both things at the same time?
Both, yeah.
Or?
Well, it's everything altogether. It's
everything. Yeah.
It's not really explainable. That just comes out of here. That's the thing that, in a way, wants to just be expressed in a way, because there's this constant me is constantly trying to find something, and of course there's nothing to find.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's also when Katie was just asking about meditation.
Yeah.
And very quickly, some kind of an expectation comes in when you use some kind of a practice.
Absolutely, yeah. Absolutely.
And that, then you're in the expectation business.
That's right. You're in the expectation business. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
So that is difficult to continue if you know that, and I mean, then it's so.
Yeah, once there's a sort of recognition in a way that all strategies are futile.
Or even a blockage. I mean, because then I was so good in.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the interesting thing is that no matter what me does, even if me becomes an incredible meditation apparent master or whatever, it doesn't make any difference, because what is if that apparent me is going to completely fall apart, it's going to fall apart no matter what. Yeah. There's nothing that me can do about it, because there's no control. There's no one. So there's nobody that can control all of that.
But in the apparent control, you can really get stuck.
You can
building it up better.
You can make there can be all kinds of fantasies about how important and vital meditation practice and everything is to get towards enlightenment. All of that. Yeah, there can be a lot of that kind of stuff going on, and a lot of people that believe that they have something called liberation.
Yeah.
It all goes on, all that stuff.
And even with this, then there are also moments that you think, oh, but now I know, or
yeah. Now I've got it.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah, I got it.
if you've got it, then you
Yeah,
definitely
I
haven't got it.
haven't got it exactly. Yeah, yeah, great, thank you.
Yeah, sure. Lindsay, sorry. Yeah.
Hey, David. Hi, everyone. Can you guys hear me?
Yes. Yes, got you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, my question sort of ties in the last, like everybody. When you say the end of seeking, this means the end of seeking. That means this is the end of any thoughts that question, any attempt to understand,
Well,
any
yeah.
questions at all.
Yeah, no, well, questions around what it is that's being expressed here, the sort of existential questions of trying to understand what is the question of why, or the original question in a way. There isn't that anymore. There isn't that sort of attempt to try to understand myself, this what is. It is recognized that cannot be understood. It is impossible to understand what is.
Okay, and what Katie said of like there are times when that are more believable. What did she say? More easier to okay, let's just say understand more than others. Like when you said, I'm in a room, I'm seeing faces on a computer. What is furniture around me in the room. It seems more believable and understandable when you say that than like right now when I'm driving and I'm passing a woman walking her dog and a telephone pole and
Well, that's just what is as well. There's you can't get away from what is. There's just this. It's just this.
And so the space, it seems like you're approaching the pole, and now the pole's behind you. That's
well,
just
this is all trying to understand. Or there's something there that's trying to that's got some sort of fantasy about what is me, or the end of time and space, which means that I don't know. There's some fantasy there which would mean things look in this way or that way or whatever. I don't know what is going on necessarily there. All I can tell you is that there isn't anyone that is that can understand what is. Nobody understands this. There isn't anyone.
Yeah, and that there's no one inside the body operating the body seems very true, and yet time can't be true if there isn't someone operating the body.
Well, this is all about true and false, and trying to kind of trying to get an idea of whether something is true or not true, right? So it's all about sort of evidence-based practice kind of thing,
Isn't that the process? Isn't that the process you went through, though?
No.
I mean, like,
No, this is not a process. This is just the end. All that seemed to go on here is just that there was seeking and seeking and trying to find, and then there wasn't. There was just what is. There's just this. That's it. And that's it. That's it.
Yeah. No, I can see that. I can see that, and yet, there are still some questions that come up.
Yeah, so it's fine. No problem. Yeah. Yeah, of course. Yeah. But this, of course, is never going to answer the questions. This is always going to just sort of undermine that which is asking the question. Not intentionally, it just naturally will do that, because of course it's where that question is coming from is trying to understand what is. It would be.
I can see that. There's been I'm just feeling more an opening and a openness to the message and a resonance.
Yeah.
So when I phrase it that way, then that seems to be an acceptable way to phrase it.
Well, no, you can. There's not an acceptable or not acceptable way. That you can say whatever you want. There's no problem. It's just that there can sometimes be a resonance, and there's sometimes and a kind of a resonance and a kind of relaxation in a way.
Yeah.
And there can sometimes be a completely the opposite, which is just a complete closing down and increase of actual tension. So it can, there's nobody in control. There's nobody in control. There isn't anyone doing me. Me just apparently happens.
Right. And
it's automatic.
And that's, I guess, what I'm trying to express is that just, and again, there's no one, I guess, apparently surrendering or just not looking things up anymore, not reading, not caring, not just not anything. But there still is, like a question, like for instance, just a wondering, like, okay, if I decide tomorrow not to eat any processed food or sugar, and tomorrow I end up eating all processed food and sugar. And then it happens the next day and the next and the next and the next. And then one day the urge is gone and there's no processed food or sugar. And something inside just wonders, if there's no intention, no decider, no person, and just what is, it's just one day what happens to show up is no processed food and sugar. Is that right?
Well, yeah. I mean, I think that in a way that your point is that, well, the point is that there isn't anyone in control, and that there is me believes that it is making a choice, that it has a decision about all of these different things that you've pointed out, but actually there isn't anyone, and there is a body there that goes towards what is preferable or pleasurable and away from pain, and that's it. It just does that automatically without anybody. That body doesn't need anyone to heal. It can heal itself.
And yet addicts choose not to. Well, okay, so if the body tends to go towards pleasure and not pain, the pain that's caused by addiction of all kinds, that's pain. And yet they find, they just day after day after day get
well,
sort of
it can be, yeah. But then addiction can also end.
Just by itself.
Well, I mean, it inevitably, because there isn't anybody doing anything.
Okay. Yeah, you're right. It's not understandable.
No.
It's completely beyond the grasp of any logical explanation.
That's it. Yeah.
Oh.
Sorry about that.
Darn. I can't talk anymore then. All right. Thanks a lot.
No problem. No problem.
Thanks,
nice to hear you. Yeah, nice to hear you.
Thanks. Bye now.
Bye. Okay, somebody's written something here. Hi, so says it's clear and I no longer seek, but what if I still enjoy telling stories? Would that no longer be apparent? But then would I no longer be this person if there was no stories involved? Or can I be this person without any story at all? What I mean is this body a story, or just tells stories, so to speak? Wow. All I can say about that is that it's what wants to know all of that. What wants to understand all of that is me. Me wants to understand about whether telling stories or whether telling stories is is me or whether it isn't me, or whether, whatever. There's all kinds of things that me wants to understand there. And all I can say is that stories can be told, but they're told by no one. It's not my story. There isn't any ownership. There isn't any. There's nothing to do with. There's no. In a way, the story is just empty of meaning and purpose. It's just an apparent story. So, someone here, Diana, has asked, everything is empty, meaning no reality in anything. All there is empty fullness. All there is the real unreal. There's everything and nothing. Impossible to understand. This can't be understood. So there's a question here. In a story, could it be compared to the dreams we have I guess it means at night time? They seem quite full and real, but in the morning they show up quite empty and not solid. I mean, this is another. It's another sort of fantasy of me trying to understand what is, that and in comparing it to something that it believes that it understands. So the difference between a dream state and another and not a dream state. This cannot be understood. What is cannot be understood. You might call it a dream, what me being the dream, but it doesn't, what does that mean? There's that what is outside of a dream. There's nothing outside of you. There's nothing outside of me. There's just nothing. Any kind of analogy is another strategy of me. Hi, Johan.
Hi, David. So
Hi.
here's my analogy. If one were to objectify this immediacy, one would arrive at something like the totality of experience, inclusive of the experience of that one calls me, right?
Well, I mean, you're talking about everythingness, but at the same time as everythingness, there's also nothingness.
Yes,
So,
because in that objectification, one would lose the aliveness of it. So one would have to subjectify it again, but that's not a possibility. And
well,
then,
yeah, but I mean, that's the point.
yeah,
That's the point. It is always that conundrum for me, because it will turn what is being expressed here into an object or into an analogy or into a kind of way of thinking. This is not a way of thinking.
yeah. There's no such thing, but that insight did help me. It did help me a lot. That it's about the totality of experience. This immediacy.
Well, yeah, it may have helped you, but
Yeah,
of course, this has got nothing to do with you, and
Help.
and this is of no help whatsoever. But I'm sure that concept did help me. Yes, I absolutely agree. It probably did.
Yeah. All right then.
Thanks, man. Hi, Catherine.
Hi.
Hi.
I think it's funny. It's really it's going nowhere.
Yes.
The expression.
Yeah, it's going nowhere.
All of this energy.
I know.
Really is on the way to.
Yes. absolutely.
something.
Yes, it's very directional. Me, it's it's going down a direction, although it doesn't know which direction to take because it's looking for everything. So it's a bit confused, me, as to where to go. Of course, naturally, totally natural. That totally natural. It's just what seems to happen. It's automatic. It's a fever. There isn't anybody doing any of it.
There's already no one trying to understand. It's an illusion.
Yeah.
The illusion is.
Yeah. There's no one trying to understand that it's an illusion. Isn't that amazing? Doesn't feel like that, of course. It feels very like I am trying to understand something because there's such a sort of inertia to me, but
I think what is heard here, in a way, is not compatible.
Yes.
It's just there's no compatibility, so automatically it's like, oh, what's this?
Exactly. Exactly that. Yeah.
You want to go and look in the keyhole, and
yeah. It's just
and I'm guessing it's looking into the keyhole. That's it.
Exactly. It's an alien world that's in a way. This is what's being expressed here is just completely like an alien language.
Because the world of the knower is the known.
Well, the known, yes, the known. In actual fact, that's the radical position, the radical alien crazy stuff that's going on is all about is the known,
Is the known.
Yeah, everything else that's what's apparently happening apart from the apparent human world is totally there's no one in that. There's no seeking involved in any of that. It's just the apparent human being which is trying to seek something, trying to fix it all.
But in the apparent world, a lot of it doesn't make sense anymore.
No.
It seemed to
sure.
have
well, you've been bitten by something that's yeah, sorry about that.
Yes.
once that sort of grabs you, that what's being expressed here in a way, that sort of grabs you, it slowly destroys the apparent life there that's all about trying to find something and seeking and fixing and making things better and all of that extreme exhausting shit. It's the beginning of the end of that, I'm afraid.
I can't even explain how. I mean, apart from washing up, eating, intellectual conversations or conversations and events, meetings.
Yeah.
I can still go to a meeting and there's a lot of chatting and people are like a bit of heroes or whatever.
Yeah.
And then it's just at the same time, there's nothing being grabbed by it. Where, you know, it's not like I can't take part anymore.
Well, it's interesting, isn't it? Yeah.
It's like, okay, yes, it's instead of being taken in by the story, it's just seen as someone standing telling a story, and there doesn't seem to be anything attached to it. There doesn't seem to be. Anyway.
Yeah.
Thank you.
No, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, Michelle's asking, aren't pleasure and pain concepts of me as opposed to the body? How can the body even recognize pleasure, pain, if all there is just what's appearing? Well, I mean, pleasure and pain don't need anybody for there to be a recognition. There isn't. There isn't. Me isn't required. So the words can be turned into concepts, although it is actually, they are very difficult words to really to really define, actually, interestingly enough. But basically, pleasure and pain are just, they can just, there is just response. You can just call it response if you prefer, if you don't like those words. It's just response. There is attraction, repulsion, like magnets, right? So it's not, that's all that's being expressed. It's not, they're not conceptual. There's no conceptual aspect to what to how those things are being expressed here. They're just what's apparently happening. Hi, Nanda. Hi.
As a follow-up of what Catherine was saying, I find it really easy to, and also in the sense like that you're more attracted towards pleasure and want to stay away from pain. I find it really easy to find out what I want to do and what makes sense. And it's, you know, things which make you smile or I don't have any problem with the
No, well, nobody's doing it. You know, nobody's doing any of that. It just it's natural.
Totally fine. Yeah.
I mean, you know that you like, you know, 70 or 85% chocolate rather than 70% chocolate. You know what I mean? It's quite refined. You know, in its you know, 85 is the best percentage, I have to tell you.
And of course you have a problem if you have to be in circumstances where it's not so easy, or it's a bit heavy, or serious, or I don't know what.
Right.
Yeah, that I understand.
Yeah, it's all everything's automatic.
Yeah.
Thank you. Hi, Catherine. Oh, you're on mute. I haven't got your sound. Yeah.
Yeah, sorry.
Great.
Talking about chocolate.
Yeah.
Because I'm still on this meat diet.
Uh-huh.
So I have some cocoa at home. So I've mixed plain cocoa with butter and some salt, and it's my pudding.
Ah, thank you. Is this is a recipe from?
Well, no, it's just I wanted chocolate, and I've got cocoa, and I thought I'll mix it with butter.
Nice, good idea.
Instead of sugar, add salt.
Okay,
and
okay.
You
great.
can also mix some meat through it.
Great. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, I could have meat and chocolate.
Meat and chocolate.
Yes.
There you go.
Yeah. Why not?
I would love to say that it's so amazing that it's embracing everything.
Yeah.
It's so wonderful.
I like your name. Your Another Day in Paradise, it says there. That's very good. Yeah, thanks, Anita. Hi, Catherine.
I mean, that's the compassion, isn't it? It is everything at the same time of being nothing.
Yeah.
So nothing could possibly be excluded.
Right.
Well, no, that doesn't make sense actually.
Well, there's no exclusion. There's no separation.
No separation. No.
Yeah. Totally. Yeah. In the end, this is a total loss. This is total loss. This is the end of all strategy and attempts to find anything. That's all.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks so much. Hi, Jackie.
Hey, David.
Hi.
Yeah, just when you said, yeah, this is the end of all seeking, and yeah, just how, for over here, this is just the next thing. Just how impossible it is not to turn.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Even this message into something else.
Oh,
that's, that I'm seeking, or that I'm.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for that moment, or
right.
I'm kind of listening out for little clues.
Mm-hmm.
I know you said, I think maybe last week or whatever, about you after all the seeking, you kind of reach this kind of rock bottom frustration or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh well, that's I need to get to that point.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, well, that's the problem about ever talking about any of that, because it just immediately that you just describe the story of something happening, although nothing happens, but there's something happening. then it immediately, that's what me will attach to that. In fact, it's just the end of happening. It's the end of happenings. This is the end of happenings. Immediacy. It's just all that's left. It's all that's left. But that isn't something that I'm like a little tidbit that I'm offering you that's going to, give you something to get down forget it.
Yeah, no, that didn't give me anything.
No, okay, good. Okay, that's great. Yeah.
But it is, it's just like, this. Yeah, it's just that, I presume, inevitability that the me will.
Yeah, it's inevitable because it's automatic. There isn't anybody doing it. It's not anybody's. There's nobody's job doing any of that. Kind of engaging with that. It's not, and nobody's fault as well. Me is in a very extreme sort of state that it really believes that it's my fault, that I have to fix this, I have to solve this. There's nobody, so there's nobody's fault. This is totally blameless. This is utterly without blame, without shame, without anything to do with any of that. That's all a fantasy.
Yeah, like even though that's, I don't know who's doing what, but, there's some comfort in kind of saying, like not to get all significant and caught up in and feel ashamed by or whatever, automatically there's going to be seeking.
Yeah.
It's like, it's just what happens, and it's not wrong, and it's not.
Absolutely.
It's not going to stop. I remember actually being at a meeting with Tony right at the beginning of this, really getting that, there's nothing the me can do or not do.
No.
It's not like, well, if the me listens out for those clues.
Exactly.
That's not going to stop.
No, it's not. And that's the wonder of it, in a way, that it's, that the me is such it's beating itself, it's aggressive, that the energy of it really believes this is my fault and I've got to fix this, because that reinforces a sense of there is someone.
Yeah.
There's someone. If there's someone to blame, and there's somebody who should be ashamed of themselves because they haven't got there, or whatever.
Yeah, shame's better than absence.
Right, exactly. Yeah,
better than nothing.
Apparently,
and when you or other speakers say, and then it, whatever, the story of, it's fallen away, or whatever it is you say. Oh my God, the hatred that arises. The kind of, I can, I'll kind of smile, but I can really feel this reaction of like, fuck you.
Yeah, totally.
It's just, just, the envy and the jealousy and the, like, it's not there. And
absolutely. Yeah.
It's such a rage there.
Oh yeah, of course. Well,
it's like, I love being with you and the, other speakers, and yet, oh my God.
You just want to punch our lights out, yeah.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, I know. Oh, I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the interesting thing, because obviously there's in the story there was a huge period of seeking here, and and of course that was what was going on until there was a recognition that it's got absolutely nothing to do with the speaker at all. There's nothing that speaker has. There's nothing here to be got. This is totally irrelevant. But that doesn't make sense when you're coming to a meeting to get something, right? So, yeah.
No. All right. Thanks, David.
Thank you.
It's good to just even express that.
Oh, yeah. Thank you. No, thanks so much. Yeah.
I'm just eating my dinner, so I'm going off camera.
Yeah, you got it. Hi, Laura.
Hi, David.
Hi, hi.
Hi. Did you catch a cold?
I got a little bit of something, yeah. So
Yeah.
you'll hear a bit of a
Yeah.
strange, yeah.
Okay, get well soon.
Thank you, yeah.
So, you say this is the end of seeking. And in a way, everything expresses that, right?
Well, everything is that already,
Like
yeah.
the cushion that says
Yeah, it's already that.
The laptop says it. The smartphone says it. Everything says that, right?
It's already that, yeah.
Yes. And exactly, that's all I want.
No, that's great. Thank you. No, it's nice. Totally, yeah.
Yes. And in a way, hearing it through a human body,
yeah,
it is it rings more through in a way to me.
Yes, well, it can, yeah, yes, it can, or it can. There can be a huge projection onto that. That there's something that is that that's the difficulty in a way that there can also be me will immediately kind of go, oh, well, there's something there, and kind of go. It's much easier for it for that to be the case than if you have a cat wandering around.
Yes.
I
understand, yeah.
In a way.
Yeah, I see. Okay, thanks so much.
Thank you.
Take care. Drink a lot of good tea, please.
Thank you. Thank you. Hi, Johan.
Yes, well then. Earlier, I think it was with Catherine, you used the analogy of being bitten by a snake, right? And
well, I know, I just bitten.
Well, there's all kinds of variants on that. First you taste the sugar and then you become sugar, of course. In your experience or opinion, just out of curiosity, do you think there's anything that could change that direction or that apparent story in the direction it's heading to?
I mean, me is always on a direction. What is directionless. There's no direction here.
Mm-hmm. Sure, but the analogy would suggest that from the venom that's in you, there's a process.
I think this is kind of like forming a story in a way out of something. Unfortunately, me wants to create something out of this, but it's not really going to it's not going to help.
No, going to work or help or anything. No. Okay. Yes.
Thank you. Thanks. Hi, Catherine.
Hi. I was thinking, the expression like, we have self-control and control. I mean, there's no control, but is there apparent self-control? I mean, that's an illusion, but do you know what I mean?
Well, yeah,
in certain situations,
yeah, sure,
you might, people are regarded well if they have some decent self-control. You can.
Well, I mean, well, should I say, this body, has learnt a way of moving in social situations, if you like.
Yes. Yeah. Conditioning, societal conditioning.
It's easier if you do, it's easier, naturally easier if you go to the station with clothes on rather than without clothes on, for example. It's just easier, so it's inevitably that it naturally just goes on. It doesn't need to be a me to kind of to kind of gather all that together and understand something. Yeah.
But then in a way it's just the word self-control has nothing to do with a me. It's just how it's named, I guess.
Sure. No, it's not. No, there's just there's just a natural. It's quite natural, the energy around that. There's just it's very magnetic. There's attraction and repulsion. It's got nothing to do with anybody. All of that. When there's a whole load of energy which is really, which is really aggressively feeling that, I don't know, being naked in public is really awful, then you will really feel that. It's natural, completely natural. There's no requirement for anyone to actually figure that out. It's very obvious.
Yes, thank you for the meeting, by the way.
Oh no, pleasure. Thank you.
So this is nothing meeting nothing, the same as the room.
Mm-hmm.
Empty room.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Thank you. I think what wants to be said here is that me is apparently very harsh. This is what is so soft and open. There's no, this is really a softness. This is a softening. That's what wants to be said here. This is a softening. This is all of the edges blending. This is not something which needs to be found or needs to be got to. This is just what's apparently happening. This is just all there is. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for coming. It's so lovely to see you guys. Thanks, Jerry. Thanks.
Thank you, David.
Thank you, guys. Love you. Love you. Take care. Take care of yourself.
Thanks, David.
See you soon.
Bye. Thanks.
Wow.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye bye. Take care.